The NBA season tips off this month, and the association is making mandates as we are obviously still amidst a global pandemic. Unvaccinated NBA players in New York City and San Francisco will not be paid for missed games resulting from local COVID-19 vaccine mandates that prevent them from playing. So the announcement came one day after the NBA made clear its preference to employ a vaccine mandate for its players, pointing to the Players Union as the roadblock to securing 100% vaccination for its members. This could cost unvaccinated players on the New York Knicks, Brooklyn Nets, Golden State Warriors significant salary, like Kyrie Irving and Andrew Wiggins. Now, the NBA's executive vice president of communications released this statement. Any player who elects not to comply with local vaccination mandates will not be paid for games that he misses. Jay Williams moonlighting with us after four hours of television. Thank you so much for sticking around with us, sir.
My pleasure.
I'll start with you here. Jay, how do you see this playing out between players in the league?
Well, I think it depends on who the players are. I think for some players, if they are adamant enough that maybe they need more time to come to a conclusion, which I find to be respectable. Look, I am vaccinated. If I'm having a conversation with somebody that is on the fence about whether they want to be vaccinated or not, and they say, hey, look, I just need some more time to see how this thing mutates, to see if the vaccination process changes in time. I may not like it, but at the end of the day, I have to respect that, right? So if they've accumulated a certain amount of wealth to a certain degree, and they didn't want to be forced or mandated to get a vaccine, if they have $70, $80 million in the bank, maybe they don't want to play. Maybe they don't want to play. I don't understand, and I think this is a moment that was a lost opportunity for the league. The league has always been extremely progressive to me in their stances on things. And to kind of say, hey, we're going to fall underneath the shield of the municipality of New York and San Francisco, there's something internally me, and I am vaccinated. I get the point of it. But when companies mandate that people have to get vaccinated to a certain degree, I think that forces people to dig their heels into the sand even more. And the people who have the wealth behind them to do so, if they feel like they are being forced, may not want to do that. And at the end of the day, if that's their decision, I have to respect that. But it's all weird to me because Kyrie can lose 52% of his salary, $18 million for the 2 games he plays against the Knicks and here in Brooklyn, but Kyrie can then go play in Golden State. Andrew Wiggins has to lose 50% of his salary, but can come here in New York and play here with no repercussions. Or Bradley Beal, who decides maybe he doesn't want to get vaccinated, Stephen A., will make his full salary in $37 million and will not lose anything.
There's a lot of governing bodies involved in this.
That's my point.
Beyond
Let me respond to that.
Sure.
Get the hell over it.
I don't have to.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
I'm speaking in general. You know that. I got love for you.
No, we're on the same page.
I'm saying get the hell over it. Here's why. You know, money matters. I like to get paid. You like to get paid? Don't you like to get paid?
I do.
But you know something, Jay? If you live in New York, they going to take your money. You're going to get taxed at about 13%. You go to California, you're going to get taxed at about New York, 11, 12%. California, you're going to get taxed about 13%. Last time I checked in Philadelphia, it's about 3%. Delaware is 0. The state of Washington might be 0.
Nice.
It's a point that I'm trying to make to you. All things ain't equal. We all know that. There are advantages that come along. I was just talking to Justin Termini, and Eddie yesterday on their show on NBA radio. And then Justin Termini was pointing that out. Wait a minute, Eddie Johnson, he was like, yo. He said, there's always discrepancies in the world of sports. Everybody don't get paid the same. You don't get taxed the same. You got to deal with it on that level. Now, here's where you and I are aligned because I side with you on this because I brought this up yesterday, I believe. I don't like the fact that Kyrie Irving is not allowed to play at the Barclays Center, but a visitor can. Either no one that's unvaccinated can play in the Barclays Center, or you can play in the Barclays Center. It's just that simple. That's number one. Let me get political here for a quick second to Mayor de Blasio in New York City. Just a suggestion, sir. Before you go in front of the microphone and call out Kyrie Irving for not being vaccinated, could you deal with the police officers in New York that ain't vaccinated? Because he has dominion over them. The police department answers to the mayor. How you gonna sit up there and have unvaccinated cops, but you talk about an NBA player? Mind your business. It doesn't concern you. The NBA can handle that situation. You don't need the mayor of New York or any other city for that matter talking about an NBA player when you got cops that ain't vaccinated. That's number two. Having said all of that, I stand with the NBA. If the NFL did it, I'd stand with them. This is business. This is business. And if you have the ability to affect my bottom line, okay, because of your unvaccinated status, if I got to sit up there and go through hoops because I'm worried about you potentially contaminating players or what have you, it's a concern. And they have a right to be concerned.
It's not bottom line. It's getting other people sick.
But they also have the protocols in place, though. There's rapid testing. They've been doing this before.
Evidently, they don't think it's enough.
But it is. I mean, they've been doing this. They've been doing it the whole time they were in the bubble, though, Stephen A.
They're doing it because they don't have, you know this, Jay. They're doing it because they don't have a choice, because the union won't sign off on the mandate.
Exactly.
So you guys are around it.
That's what the players feel.
But if the league could do it, they would.
Keyword,
Of course they would.
Keyword, bubble. They were in a bubble. We're no longer in a bubble anymore. It's much riskier.
I hear what you're saying, but still, like,
you're going home to your families. Your kids are in schools. You're going out. You're traveling. It's very different than being locked down in a bubble.
That's everyday people, though. I mean, that's for so then you're making things for everyday companies by saying, a lot
of companies are requiring it.
I was double vaccinated. I still caught COVID.
Right.
I still caught it.
Right.
It lessened my.
There you go.
It lessened my features that I had with the issue, right?
Right.
And my recovery time was faster. But if I didn't get tested, I could have brought it into work. I don't know. So what I'm saying is it's murky.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as just saying it's black and white.
That's another wrinkle. You're right.
Unless
That's
you're getting
another
tested
wrinkle.
every single day, that's how you know.
Guys, no one's denying
I understand.
Murky. No one's denying it's murky. But a business has a right to address their concerns and their bottom lines. And if you don't like it, then that's a sacrifice that you have to make.
Fair.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.